next storyteller is Joe Voights. Joe, you're here with us. You want to say a quick hi?
Hello. Yes.
There you are. Joe was an English language fellow in Israel from 2019 to 2020. Joe will be telling us a story that is called Total Physical Response. Take it away.
I've always wondered exactly how listening to someone's story changes us, what that process looks like. My favorite writer, the Jewish survivor of Auschwitz, Primo Levi, says that each of us bears the imprint of someone met along the way, in each, the trace of each. When I matched with a fellowship in Israel, I learned that I would be teaching, unbelievably, in a college that integrates students from West and East Jerusalem. I had only a vague idea then of what that meant, but soon understood it was exactly what I hoped. Israelis and Palestinians studying to be teachers together. On my very first day, I saw a row of women in the back, all wearing hijabs, surrounded by a sea of Israelis. I couldn't wait to mix them in groups. And at the end of that first class, that whole row dropped. My whole body clenched when I found out. How could I have failed? When the next semester began, I was determined to keep everyone. So I met each student individually and listened to their stories. I wanted them to know that they belonged. Malak rarely spoke in class, but she stayed. She wore a purple hijab to our meeting, and when I complimented her clothing, said, "I'm an artist, so I love colors." When I asked why students from East Jerusalem like her tend to hang back, she confessed she couldn't find her voice among Israelis. Another Palestinian student told me that the conflict there manifests as panic attacks, that was why she often left class unexpectedly. "Sometimes I literally can't breathe," she said. One day, when our course on methods of teaching English touched on the politics of language instruction, an argument erupted. This student compared the occupation of East Jerusalem to the Holocaust. She tried to clarify right away, adding, "When I toured Auschwitz, I felt empathy for Jews for the first time, understanding how they had been dehumanized at checkpoints and made to carry IDs by the Nazis." But it was too late. I saw the Jewish students tensing. When she defended what she said further, they covered their ears and yelled that they wouldn't listen until she apologized. She screamed and ran out of the room. As we all caught our breath, Malak, in her purple hijab, sitting across from them in the broken half circle of chairs, confirmed very quietly, "It's true. I have to cross a checkpoint every day from East Jerusalem to come to this college." They calmed down and listened to her. Eventually, they began asking questions, and Malak answered softly. Eventually, the other student came back, and we carried on. Everyone made it to the end of that semester. When we discussed the chapter on TPR, or total physical response, Malak surprised us all, lighting up and leaning forward. "You know," she said, "I realize that I have always been doing total physical response in my teaching without knowing it. Whenever I teach colors, I have one boy dip his palm in red paint and one girl dip hers in blue, and then they shake and purple." We all basked in her modest pride as she beamed, and I knew this would be the story I told about Jerusalem.
Thank you, Joe. It's another powerful story.